luckily, we turned them over at the end of the first half there, and were able to convert and then kind of go back-to-back threes coming into the locker room to give us a big enough cushion. But, once again, we won't get defensive rebounds in the second half. And Felipe, when the game gets real physical, they're not comfortable in that. And then Chris can't commit 3 of his 4 fouls, like away from the ball grabbing. I mean, he can't do that. But it is what it is. It's late February. You get a home win against a conference opponent. You take it and you run.
Frank, I know it's no strange thing to see everybody try to sag in the paint and try to get Chris contained, but how confident does it make you and the players when you hit those first couple of three-pointers and you're starting to really light it up from outside?
Yeah, we spoke about that for the last couple of days, that we've played them so much. We've got a pretty good feel for what they're going to do, that we needed to have some courage and our guards and jump up and make some threes, and Felipe needed to jump up and make a couple, and they do an unbelievable job of defending the paint, especially on dribble drives. If you try to drive their defense, they kind of just attack you and make it hard to pass, and definitely don't give you the rim. But, our two-point shooting wasn't very good today, but, Chris comes in and gives us that three-point play, and then that other basket, that was a hard shot, where we got it to the end of the clock, and he just took his time, faced, and shot faked it, and got the guy off balance, and he just jumped up and scored it. Those are 2 big plays by Chris. But we spoke about having some courage. Booker got a little too much courage and took some crazy shots, but he's playing with tremendous enthusiasm right now, practicing that way, and obviously it's translated to him succeeding and us winning some games here.
Coach, how significant do you feel in your mind moving forward, looking at the bench points tonight, 41 coming off the bench, just from the morale of the team and the guys really starting to believe in themselves perhaps after 2 wins in a row? And can you guys build off this, you feel?
Yeah, we need Evan to help us. Evan didn't practice real well last couple days. He just – I don't know. I got to grab him tomorrow. He's got to help us. He's got to play more. What did he play today? I don't even know. Didn't play much. 4 minutes. We need more from him. He's too good a kid, and he plays too hard. So we need him to contribute. We need Justin to not go 0 for the day. Even though he tried, he worked his tail off. But that's those 3 guys coming off the bench. Booker, Wesley, and Felipe. That's 3 first-year guys that it's happened now. At Tennessee, obviously the other day against Auburn, and again today, they're giving us a spark coming off the bench, and that's why I've kind of stayed with the lineup the way it is, because I kind of like that. I like the what those guys give us coming off the bench, and and Hassani's played better. Wes and Hassani have. The reason we're playing better is real simple. Those 2 guys, plain and simple. There's no other way to explain it. Those 2 guys are playing a lot better. When your point guards play better, your team plays better.
Coach, actually going off of that, Hassani has had a little bit up and down year, with injury and whatnot. What did you think of him hitting some clutch threes at the end of the first and second halves?
Yeah, he's playing better. I told him the other day. It's. At the end of, Monday's practice, one of the reasons we had a chance to win at Tennessee is because he played hard. Like I think somebody asked me after the Tennessee game what happened to him. I said, he played hard for the first time in his life, so he cramped. It's the truth. He didn't understand how to play hard and go and be focused and committed to doing it, and he did it. And you know what? He followed that up with the same kind of preparation and performance against Auburn, and did it again going into this game. He needs to keep building on that. He's got the ability to make some shots. The problem is that when you're not sure where the shots are at, then you end up taking bad shots, and that's what he needs to understand. And Like he took a shot today that I wasn't a fan of. It's in the open court. I think it was a 6-point game. And he just, like, we didn't have numbers. He just took like an elbow jump shot, and we didn't have floor balance. I didn't take him out. I didn't say a word to him because he's trying to do stuff the right way. And when you're trying, you got to let him go a little bit sometimes. And he's really trying to do right now.
Coach, here in the back, when Silva went out with 4 fouls with 10 minutes left, Hassan Myers hit some big threes. What type of resilience did that show this team is developing?
Yeah, it's those two guys were tremendous in the 2 shots that they, not the 2. I think Myers made 2. Felipe made 1. We needed that. We needed, when Felipe comes in for Chris, we're kind of trading skill for physicality. So we're giving up physicality for skill. So when the ball don't go in the basket for him, it creates a problem for us. But he did that today. He made shots, and he got to the right places. And, and Wes, I was so mad at Wes. He had made back-to-back threes, and Mike, we ran the clock to the end. Mike drives and kicks it to Wes, and he's got another one. You got to put it in the net, man. And he held the ball. And then, and then we tried the ball screen. He tried to go between his legs and a ball screen. It ends up as a shot clock violation. Just made back-to-back threes, man. Jump up and make the third one. But that's part of, even though he's a senior, and that's part of his growth as a player, is to embrace those moments, to understand those things. But those 2 guys helped us win today, no doubt.
Coach, in these last 2 wins, both Auburn and Georgia have cut it to 2-possession games. What's your assessment of how the team has handled that adversity and been able to finish out those fights?
Yeah, it says a lot. It says a lot that we regardless of what happened earlier in the month of February, that when the games get hard, we don't give in, And I thought defensively today we were pretty good. Even though we went zone, I thought we were pretty good in the zone. We made some mistakes, but heck, it is what it is. You're going to make some mistakes. But I was proud of every time they cut that to 6, we'd really lock in defensively. And what we did, which gave us a chance, we took good shots and we didn't turn it over. And that allowed our defense to always set. And when our defense sets, we're halfway decent. But earlier in the year, we'd take bad shots, we turn it over, and now it's a jailbreak. And it's hard to stop the players we play against when you turn them loose in the open court.
You mentioned it a little bit there, but you cut your turnovers down in each of the last 3 contests. I know that this might be a bit of an anomaly, only 5 turnovers, but how much of that was the focus and how much of that's due to the point guard play?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Our point guards are more in tune with what we're asking them to do. And the other guys off the ball are a little bit better. Like we came out of the timeout, in the under 4 media timeout. This is the stuff that we do that drives me nuts. And I told them in the timeout, I said, we run an action that we run just to get to the end of the clock. And I said, run it and get it to Wes on the left side of the floor. And at the end of the clock, run the 4 and the 5 man that set a kind of horns ball screen on the side. I said, I need the 5 man on the high side. Okay? I said, Wes, I don't care what you do. Throw it against the scoreboard, pitch it to the upper deck, shoot it. Do not turn it over. Felipe runs to the baseline side. Wes now takes the 5 ball screen and kills his dribble on the baseline and turns it over. That's the stuff that with this team that just drives me nuts at times. But when you only turn it over 5 times in an SEC game and you're aggressive, because we took 60-some-odd shots, didn't we? 68 shots. You're starting to figure stuff out. You're starting to get guys to the right places. We got to convert more 2s. We missed too many 2s today.
When you talk about the stuff down the stretch, back-to-back games now, are there, in previous games when you haven't done that down the stretch, you've pointed to that's a prime example of a lack of leadership and not having somebody step up. Are there a couple individuals you're seeing these last couple games that have done things differently on the floor and people are kind of resonating off of them?
We weren't very good at practice yesterday. We weren't. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we had a good practice carried into today. We did not. We were very quiet, very passive, which frustrated me. And that's why Chris was one of those guys. That's why he didn't play well today. Even though he made a couple of big shots for us and made some free throws, didn't play very well. Frank Booker, Hassani, Wes, Chris, Mike Kotsar, Mike, I don't care. Listen, I sit there and watch a game just like you. I'm at practice every day. It's frustrating that he misses all those shots, okay? But he's being aggressive, and that's what I need him to do. I need him to be aggressive. He grabbed 7 offensive rebounds, pretty much saved the game for us in some of those offensive rebounds coming down the stretch. Those guys are trying. They didn't stop trying. They just didn't know how to lead. They had no one to help them. And obviously we spoke about what took place leading into the Auburn game. And all I've told them since then is like, well, now no excuse. Now you've seen it. You tasted it. You guys have to own it now. And if you don't own it, don't get mad at anybody. That's on you. So I hope that nucleus of guys continues to take on the next day and demand that people do more, and the attention to detail becomes even greater in what it's become in the last 10 days.
Coach, tomorrow night is a very anticipated one for Asia Wilson, who, by the way, was rocking a Frank Martin T-shirt on Sunday. What has she meant to this community and to this school?
Just her family, they're just incredible people. It takes courage. And I know Dawn was good. I mean, their program was already good when she signed up to come here, but they had not been to a Final Four yet. And to say no to UConn, to stay home, says a lot about who she is and that family, what they're about, and how proud they are as South Carolinians to wear that uniform. And what's happened ever since she got here, the attendance, 4 years in a row leading the country, who she is, her personality, she's unbelievable. I'm around them all the time, and she's just got this uplifting personality. She makes everyone feel good. And then her talent as a player. If you follow me on social media, whenever Don lets him be on social media, I'm always messing with her on social media just because that's who she is. She's such an engaging person, but it's that's why Sindarius, PJ, Justin Mackey. That's why those guys mean so much to me that those guys came to school here. Her coming to school here. What she's done, it's phenomenal. And I'm going to be on my radio show tomorrow, so I'm going to try and figure out a way to sneak in here as fast as I can, so I can be here to support her. Obviously, support Dawn, but support her and her family for her commitment to the Gamecocks and this community the way that she's always done it.